Hi guys, so I wanted to add this in. I don't know where this is going to get added in. I stumbled across a yellow jacket nest just yesterday, and it was actually my dog. My dog was on his lead and he was walking, and he walked right over there by my squash, which not 15 minutes before that I had harvested a squash just from right there. Nothing happened to me, but my dog walked over there, and I was outside with him, and then I noticed him run all the way over here by this tree, and he had little bugs attached to his fur. And I was like, "Oh, Loki, did you get stung by a bee?" And then I got closer, and I was just like, "Oh, I wonder where those came from," because there was a lot of them. It wasn't just like one or whatever that you would just like stumble across while walking in a patch of clover or something. And I went over to where you had been, and yeah, there was just a swarm of bees, and I didn't know what they were at first. And as I was walking away, I got stung right in the back of my leg, and it is swollen so bad, like one little sting, and it just covered my entire back leg. So I had to reach out to my landlord, and she contacted some pest control. I have no idea what they're going to do. I'm going to have to ask some questions, because I don't know if that entails them having to take apart this bed to get to whatever nest is in there, or if they're going to be spraying chemicals. I really hope it's not chemicals, because that would really suck. That would definitely change a lot of what's happening in my garden, just because I am an organic gardener. I don't use chemicals on anything. I don't use pest sprays or herbicides or anything. A lot of what I do is just hand picking and, overplanting, hoping for the best, because I know that some of the things are going to get taken out by pests. But having this entire bed of the corn, the squash, and the beans be taken out by yellow jackets is really gonna suck. So I'll keep you guys updated. We'll check back in. I'm not really sure when this person is coming. I'm sure they'll be in contact, but it's just sad. I hope that you guys aren't dealing with yellow jackets, because they are feisty. Good evening. It is the same day. So I got word from my landlord that the guy coming to take care of the yellow jackets is coming tonight. He came this afternoon. He was here for a little bit. He realized that the yellow jacket colony was inside of my raised bed and not in the ground. He was going... The plan is to use this liquid pesticide, basically. And he said that the plan was to spray it in where their nest is, plug it up, and let them just kind of walk in it, just because it won't kill them off unless it gets on their body and gets them that way. He wanted to wait until the yellow jackets were less active, which is typically at night when bees are not active. They sleep or stay in the hive. And so he's coming around 9:30 or so. And so I'm just kind of waiting patiently. We'll see what happens. He said it might be a few days of taking care of them. He's going to try to centralize whatever pesticide he's using in that area, instead of having it spread all over my garden, because it would be really sad to lose stuff to that. We'll see what happens. I have a feeling that the squash and the beans and the corn that are on the farther side of that bed are not going to make it. I think it's just going to leach into the soil and just kind of take them out from the roots. but we'll see what happens. So, waiting for him to come. I probably won't take any video while he's here. I may get a clip of him just kind of working, but probably gonna let him be. Hey friends, so I am currently on my way to Kenwood Mall Center to pick up some peaches. I decided to put an order in through the peach truck. I've never ordered from them before, but I had a client from my day job mention that they actually really liked the peaches, so I'm gonna give it a try. All right, friends, I went and picked up the peaches. It was a long line, but it went fairly quickly. The boxes are not as big as I thought they were going to be. They did state 10 pounds, so we're going to see how these weigh out. I did get 2 boxes of peaches. Hopefully that's enough. When I was looking at recipes that I wanted to be using, my peach habanero recipe was 5 peaches. Wasn't in poundage, so we're gonna see where that gets us. And then I also wanted to do my Earl Grey poached peaches again this year because I just loved those so much. So we're gonna get these peaches inside, and they need to sit on the counter for about 2 to 3 days before I can actually even process them, just so that they're perfectly ripe. But I will probably end up just like slicing these guys up, well, removing the pit, removing the skin, and then slicing them up to then package in like gallon-sized baggies, freezer baggies, to put in the freezer until I get my Sugar Rush peach peppers all in from the garden, because there's tons and tons and tons of them. Another day, another part of this vlog. So I wanted to give an update on the yellow jacket nest. So Bug Guy Tom, he came out. It was late at night. He went ahead and used a powder called Dryon, D-R-I-O-N-E. It's a silica amorphous gel. Basically, I think it attacks their breathing systems and kind of just like stunts them and makes them unalive. So this bed I've been keeping an eye on. I have not seen any activity. I have not washed off the leftover residue of the powder. He told me that I should keep an eye on it, and if I see an activity to let him know, and he would come back out and do another application. He used that particular powder because it was supposed to be safe around food or food crops. Although I do think that these squash, I hadn't had a, because there were yellow jackets right there, I wasn't able to actually come out and do my daily checks of eggs and getting rid of pests. So I think that both of those actually are dealing with some squash vine borers, which basically just takes the plants out completely. I have one more squash, and since this was my first year of getting summer squash, I have not yet ripped them out. But there's one, you can't even see it right now, but there's one little squash that is left on one of those plants, and I'm just waiting a few more days, a day or two, for that to finish ripening up, and then I'll probably go ahead and just pull both of those plants, burn them, because they're pretty bad. They've got some damage. But today I'm not seeing any more yellow jackets, which is awesome. My legs swelled up so much. Like, he might have gotten me a few times, just because I believe yellow jackets don't have barbed stingers. So when they sting you, they can sting you and sting you and sting you, and they don't die like honeybees do. Honeybees have barbed stingers, and so when they sting you, their stinger gets stuck in you, and it basically, like, it puts them out. So don't know for sure how many times it got me, but it got me enough. My entire leg swelled. I had to take a lot of antihistamines to reduce swelling, and my mom was actually a little concerned. She was a nurse when I was growing up, so I consult her a lot when things like that happen. But everything's fine. The swelling's gone down. Today, me and my boyfriend are going to Blooms and Berries, we're going to go do a U-pick of blackberries. I think I purchased 2 quarts of blackberries for the U-pick. Super excited. He loves blackberries, and I have some recipe ideas for that.
We're all going a big one.
Cheers. These are huge.
That's right there, Mom. It's all the way back there. Do you see one? No. I just want to sit. I want to sit.
Okay, then put it in your bucket. Where's your bucket?
This blackberry fell, but
All right, so I feel like this vlog has really been all over the place, and I apologize for that, but it has been a busy go-go weekend. I got my fridge in the basement that we got from some friends cleaned out, and I got this one cleaned out of all of the garden goodies that are just kind of bulk sitting and waiting for me to get a big enough harvest that I can go ahead and process them, as well as some just like back stock of different things. So that fridge has now been stocked with that thing, those garden goodies. And I went ahead and I processed my blackberries, which is super exciting. This blackberry jam is up there with the peach habanero jam, or the peach sugar rush peach jam, that I'm super excited to be making because I have the peaches chilling on my table, ripening up as we speak. But this blackberry jam is so phenomenal. So these blackberries were huge, and very delicious. My boyfriend was very particular about getting the really big fat ones. Meanwhile, I was just like, this one's right, this one's right, this one's ready. So I'm super excited for the harvests that are coming out of the garden. I think today I am going to go out and harvest some of my first giant slicer tomatoes, but I wanted to wait until it was midday, nice and sunny, so that all of those sugars would concentrate on those tomatoes. And it already looks like I need to water the garden again, because that is how it goes in the summer. You water it one day and then the next day everything looks sad. So I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend. Thank you guys so much for joining me as always. I will go ahead and pop a video up here for you to enjoy until my next upload. But until then, thank you guys so much for joining me on my crazy little weekend adventure, and I'll see you in the next one.